Hey traders, Marcello here, founder of the Day Trading Academy. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about if you can learn to trade with a full-time job. I think we live in a world, a life that is moving very, very fast. I think with technology and social media and everything that's going on, every year it kind of gets faster and faster, especially for you guys that live in really big cities like New York. I mean, it's just non-stop, right? We don't sleep a lot, we have a lot to do, we have kids and everything, so most of you are looking to possibly day trade to supplement your income or replace your income and eventually quit your jobs and be able to have the financial freedom that you want. I have been trading for now about, I think I'm going on my 15th year now, 14 years, this is my 15th. I started right out of high school, and for me, this is the absolute best job that you can do. For me, it's not really about the money, even though you can make a lot of money. For me, it's really about being able to have your financial freedom, or the way that I describe it is having enough money to not worry about money, right? When I go to a restaurant, I don't want to look at the bill, I just want to pay it and not worry about it. If I want to travel somewhere, for those of you guys that know, I've been traveling around the world now for about, I think I'm going on my 9th year. I live overseas now as well, and I'm opening day trading centers around the world so we can find more traders to trade for what will be the fun that we're creating, because we really believe in what we do. But I know that it can be really hard for a lot of you guys that have a full-time job that to find the extra time to learn how to do something else, because obviously many of you probably have a family, or you're a manager working 50-60 hours a week. But I really believe that it doesn't matter where you're from or what you do or what color you are or what language you speak. At the end of the day, you're gonna find time for what's most important to you, right? And day trading is going to be something that it's going to be a lot harder than what you think it is. I don't know how fast you guys think it takes to learn how to trade. I think I did a video for you guys already on that, but it's going to take a lot longer than what you think it is going to take, right? You're not going to start making $1 million next month, is what I'm trying to tell you guys. This is the process that you have to go through to be able to learn how to trade. It's an instinct that you have to develop, right? When you have a baby, it doesn't come with instructions on what to do, right? But after you have the first one, you know what to do with the second one, kind of thing. So the most important thing is most of you guys don't realize that a lot of the technology now, a lot of the tools that you have available to you now, I didn't have 15 years ago learning how to trade. So now you have certain trading platforms and certain tools that you can use to be able to trade outside of market hours. So you don't have to trade at 8 or 9 in the morning, especially when you're learning. There's a lot of platforms that record the market, and they have what's called the replays, where they it's my Skype. They have, you can replay the market as if it was live at any time of the day. So you can literally work, 8 to 5 or 8 to 8, whatever your schedule is, come home, watch Game of Thrones, whatever your favorite show is. I like Vikings at the moment. And after you're done relaxing, you sit down, you play the market as if it was live, and then you go through the simulation or the process of continuing to develop your skill. I really wish that I had this when I was learning how to trade, because when you guys know me, you know my story, I was going to school full-time, I was working full-time, and then I was pulling all-nighters 2-3 nights a week because I didn't have any other time to be able to learn how to trade. So if a kid doing that can do it, I'm sure you guys can do it as well. But I think you guys underestimate a little bit the capacity that you guys have now, or the ability to be able to learn how to do this based on the technology and also the time that you have. I know that a lot of you guys probably have kids, and you probably have all kinds of things that you have to do during the day, but I'm a big believer that you're always going to find time for the things that are important to you, okay? And all you need in terms of time, obviously more time is important, but the key with the time you're going to spend to be able to learn how to trade has to do with the quality of time that you put in, right? It doesn't matter if you're doing this for 80 hours a week. If you're playing on Facebook, and not paying attention or concentrating on what you're doing, right? So it's the quality of time and the consistency of time rather than the amount of time, which is really more important. So, focus on it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. All of you guys should have free time on the weekend. You guys are lucky here in Latin America, where I have a few of our in-house traders that trade, what's going to be our funds money, the company's money. Their full-time work is Monday to Saturday. So really the only extra time that they have available to them is Sunday. That's the only day they don't work. So I think it's important to understand that all of you guys have the ability to be able to do this with the technology, especially with that replay function where you're able to practice at 8 o'clock at night or 3 in the morning on a Saturday or 8 a.m. on Sunday, because who goes to church anymore, right? So once you get to the point where you find the consistency in trading, once you get to the point where you're ready to go live, that's when you can literally talk to your boss or talk to your work. I think most people nowadays are very accommodating for certain things, and you can say, well, look, I'm going to take a half-hour lunch instead of an hour. If you give me half an hour at this time, I need to be alone to be able to, meditate or whatever excuse you guys want to do. I prefer the truth, obviously, but some of you guys might not be jiving with your bosses. Then what you can do is say, well, look, instead of taking a 15-minute break, I'm going to take a 10-minute break, right? There's another 10 minutes. I'm going to leave half an hour later, and just give me this half an hour. And then you've literally constructed enough time where you have about an hour, hour and a half to be able to learn how to do this, or at least trade live, right? You're going to practice outside of job hours. You don't want to mix the two. I've had an endless amount of situations, including one of our master traders, Manny, where what ends up happening is, and most of you guys should know, that day trading is really psychological. It's not technical. Like, no matter how many indicators and monitors you think you need, at the end of the day, the most important thing that you guys are going to learn is psychology, like discipline and perseverance, all that good stuff. So if you're in a trade or should be taking a trade, then your boss distracts you, right? By the time you get back, you're going to miss the trade. It could be 5 seconds. That loss of concentration is extremely important. Once you miss that trade that could be the best trade of the day. And then you take a trade and then you lose it. And then another trade and you lose it. And then you ended up having a losing day just because your boss distracted you for 5 seconds. Another thing that happens, and actually has happened to some of our traders, is they actually take a trade, they're concentrated, then they get distracted again by a coworker or their boss or whatever the case may be. And then they come back and it came up being losing trade instead of a winning trade. Now imagine what those kinds of little things do to your psychology over time, right? There's going to be days that should have been winners for you that ended up being losers just because you were distracted for 5 seconds, 10 seconds. And so I think it's very important to be able to know that you should not try to mix these two, because it's going to get very difficult for you guys to be able to continue to learn, continue to improve when you're getting distracted. Day trading is something where you have to spend 100% of your time learning. So if you have something else going on, make sure that you turn off your cell phone, don't get on Facebook, make sure you're not working, make sure your wife or your girlfriend understands that you're doing this for her, to buy her the dream trip to the Caribbean or the Maldives, wherever you guys want to go. But the most important thing is really that, guys. And I think you can always find the time for what you think is important to you. I'm a big believer in that, and I especially when I was younger, I had a very hard time learning how to do this because I was juggling so many things. I had to work, I had to go to school, I had to balance my work schedule to be able to trade while I went to school. I was very lucky that I was a good worker, so they worked with me in my time for school and for trading and everything. But I think everybody can really do it at the end of the day, guys. But I really want you guys to understand that it's important the quality of time that you put in, not necessarily the amount of time. And in the beginning, guys, you don't have to make $1 million trading, right? That's one of the reasons why, for example, I prefer futures over Forex or stocks, because I don't want to do research all night looking for the right stocks to trade. I don't want to watch 10 different markets in Forex to try to pinpoint which market is moving well to be able to find the trade that I need to take. With futures, all you need is about an hour or two a day to be able to pick this up. Obviously, you're going to want to spend a lot more time learning in the beginning, but eventually once you're trading live and you're consistent, you only need about an hour or two a day. We have some traders, the first master trader from down here in Latin America trades an average of about 20 minutes a day. Manny as well. But don't get it twisted that we do have other traders that trade all day because they love this stuff and they want to maximize their earnings. So I think it's important to kind of give you that concept, and you can start learning how to trade with a full-time job or a job in general. But I would focus on probably supplementing your income in the beginning before you decide on just willy-nilly quitting your job and think that you're just going to get this in 3 months. Because at the end of the day, guys, you know, although you can make a lot of money doing this, the majority of us, it takes time to be able to learn how to do this properly. And I don't want you guys to just jump in like I did, lose $25,000 in student loans within a month and have to take out more loans to continue learning, and then lose more money, and then it's like a downward spiral, and it takes you a lot longer to be able to learn how to do this when it doesn't have to be that long, is what I'm trying to say. So let me know if you guys have any questions. I hope you like these new videos that I'm doing for you guys to kind of cover all these topics for you. And don't forget to leave a comment, subscribe here on YouTube, and we'll talk to you soon.